Well,
Do
good
it.
morning. We've had some good jokes already in our technical difficulties, but welcome to the Daily Huddle on our Money and Mindset Monday that we've got ready for you today. And we've already been joking a lot about our question of the day. Our question of the day is, should I get a license? And we're going to expand on that in just a few minutes. But before we get started, we're actually in Las Vegas. Kimberly and I were, and when we were on the early Zoom here, getting things going, somebody asked us if we were going to get married again, and I said I would never choose to do that again. So after 25
somebody,
years,
first of all, it was me, and second of
right.
all, you should never say that.
Sorry, somebody.
Somebody also said the question needs to be reworked.
I know,
Right.
somebody is not to be named.
Right.
Right.
Well, maybe he'll understand shortly.
We need to work on this somebody stuff.
Yeah.
So let's play the video. Let's roll it, Jim.
Can you do that, or can Liz do that?
Yes, play the video, Liz. Go for
Play
it.
the video.
Behind the
All
Daily
that
Huddle.
beautiful bean footage.
Somebody play the video.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We had
A few little hiccups this morning with our technology, but that's just all the more reason you guys should come see us in Atlanta, right? On August the 12th, we have a Daily Huddle Live in-person event in Alpharetta. So check out our Facebook page and go to the Daily Huddle Event.com and check out all of our information. You'll see all of us, Zach and I, Gio, Monica, everyone's going to be there, talking about their particular part of this show. And we're really excited to see you in person and meet you and give you that big squeeze and that big hug face to face. Funny enough, we know Tara, but outside of Tara, we've never met any of you in person. So an interesting little piece there. But before we get started, Mike, what time is it and what are you grateful for?
Well, the time is now, right now, and I am grateful that I'm here to enjoy life.
Awesome. We are grateful to have you enjoying life with us. Very much so. Andrea, where are you and who will you hug today?
I am where I need to be, which is right here, and I'm going to hug my daughter.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right. Well, welcome back to the Google Guru here up in the corner. How are you today?
I am exactly as I say I am, and I am expectant, because you should always be expectant, because God's always up to something, and something amazing is about to happen every second of the day.
That's
Outstanding.
awesome.
Outstanding. Well, it is great to be here with all of you. And like Kimberly said, we're looking very forward to that. Gio posted the information in the chat there about the Daily Huddle Live event, and we're looking forward to seeing you all in person. But this morning, we want to talk about, should I get a license? And we were laughing about this earlier as we were going over the conversation of what that question is. And one of our partners
doesn't
here
like her question.
doesn't like our question because it doesn't have enough specificity to it. What a license for what? A driver's license? What am I getting licensed for? Well, we've had this conversation many times. Kimberly and I both went to traditional education to be school teachers. And so we technically got a license to be a school teacher after 4 years in college and so on and so forth. And we've since gotten multiple licenses in the financial services business, life insurance, health insurance, securities, all the numbers attached to those, supervisory, all those kind of things, all the way to registered investment advisory designations. So what we mean by that is we've run across a lot of people throughout the years that have gotten a license to increase their cash flow. And to understand that, you kind of have to look at it from the perspective of, we were school teachers and we needed a little more money at the end of the month. Basically, we needed to raise our income to a level where we could afford to pay for daycare for our second child and all those kind of things. And that got us into the license world. So what are some options? First of all, I mentioned the insurance license, the financial services license, investment licenses, those kind of things. But some other options that we've used and that we've run across, Kimberly's still licensed in the mortgage industry, right? That's another potential add-on to what you're currently doing, or an avenue to go in.
Well, I think it's important, when we talk to clients for us, talking about their goals and their dreams and where they want to be and how they're going to retire and what it's going to look like. And I really want them to be able to design that picture. And a lot of times it might take a minute to get them to buy in and to really think about what their future could be and what they want their future to look like. But always there's a limit, right? That limit is their income. That limit is how much can they afford? Okay, great, Kimberly. I'm dreaming about this, house in Colorado, but I need a house here first, right? And so how do we make all of that happen? Usually for most people, it's increasing their income. And Zack and I, again, we've talked about this quite a bit, but how do you increase your income? We've talked about it on the show quite a bit as well. I think that's step one in anyone's, financial plan solutions is make more money. Figure out how to make more money, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's, mowing lawns on the side or going out and doing the Gary V way, right? Where he goes to yard sales and buys this and flips it on eBay or wherever, right? Whatever that looks like. But also think about getting a license. If you think about this and you take a minute and you step back, and I'll be interested to hear from all of you later to see if what you thought you were going to do or what you went to school for, or what your training or your education is what you're actually doing right now. Because I think for most of us it isn't. But how many people do you know that got a license, whether they changed careers or not, but they got a license to help add to their income, whether they're a realtor? How many of your friends that are real estate agents because they have a license to go and sell real estate because they wanted to increase their income because they didn't have more hours to go plug for the, trading time for dollars. So they got a license so they could kind of use their time more wisely, I guess. So real estate, mortgages, financial services, you guys know that's what we do. And we'll talk a little bit more about the income from that side of it in a minute. But
Yeah, I mean,
electrical licenses, right? Forklift operators.
Right, all the things that I've done in my the example of, you don't keep one job or one profession. From that perspective, though, thinking about adding on or starting a business, we have a lot of entrepreneurial minded people that watch the show. We have a lot of people that run their own businesses, and we have on the other side of that, I think most people we talk to that don't do that would like to. So one of the biggest obstacles to running your own business of any kind is overhead. Can I afford it? Can I afford the space to operate in? Can I afford those kind of things? So I think in this avenue, what we want to show people is that you don't have to lay out a lot of overhead or really even a lot of time initially from a business planning standpoint. I think planning your business and staying
Zack,
focused on
Kimberly, is it me, but is the sound gone?
Is it? Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say the same. I
It's been a
think
problem for about a full minute.
Yeah.
Get closer to the mic, Zack. It's not picking
Yeah.
you up.
Okay. We're
Can y'all hear us now?
Yeah, it's going in and out, Zack and Kimberly. For some reason, it's going in and out.
Well, we just started live streaming on
Okay,
Facebook.
now that's clear. Now you're right. You're clear right now.
Is that clear?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
clear now. Maybe it was transitioning. Zack, let's hear
Okay.
you.
we can hear us now.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think
Alright,
it must have been the Facebook transition.
So as long as you guys can hear us, and we'll keep moving on this. I think this is an important thing for people to understand, and I'll go back to that one of the biggest obstacles for most people in starting a business or in adding an income stream is, number one, they don't want to give up more time in their schedule because it's already precious. I don't want to go get a job a second job necessarily that's going to require me to be away from my family or be away from my house and trade time for dollars. How can I, with limited outflow, add an income stream that doesn't require me to report to work again, right? And so that's the question that we're talking about today, is adding a professional license of some sort. There are a lot of ways that you can make money without getting another job, without getting a professional license in the financial services industry, in the real estate industry, whatever you choose to do. But those are very valuable ways to do that. And I think that when you look at the money business and the money world, there's a lot of money being made in the money world. There's also a lot of lack of education in the average population. So if I were going to go get a license of some sort, I would look at it being in an area where it's a high need. Now, we have friends that are realtors and they do really well, but at last time I checked, there were probably 3 or 4 licensed real estate agents in the state of Georgia for each one house that's on the market. And that's probably even skewed even farther now because the inventory is kind of low. So I would want to be somewhere where there were not as many people in my industry, and I would have more of that blue ocean or that blue sea to be a part of. And what we see on a regular basis is that the people are retiring from the money business faster than people are getting into it. And there is a great need for that out there. So I think Kimberly's going to talk a little bit about income and how that can work and what that can look like. You know, in our world, we do a lot of referral business too. So having a license doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go out and solicit business and talk to clients. You can simply, or be the expert. You can simply have a license to get paid. And that's one of the things that is really interesting about, I know, life insurance and also investments. If you're licensed to speak about it, then you're licensed to get paid on it. And so you can actually create great partnerships with other licensed reps or agents that are experts, and you can refer them business and receive compensation on it in your daily operations. So, and that's why the vagueness of the, should I get a license? Because we're not talking about concealed carry permits, and we're not talking about driver's licenses and all the other things that are out there. We're talking about a license to get paid on business that desperately needs to be done. So.
So I was reading something. I wish I could throw it up on my screen. But there's one of our friends, I guess, right? He doesn't directly work with us. So we're in Las Vegas for a national conference, and that's why we're out here. And a lot of people are posting on Facebook, people that we know that we work with, you know, things like that. And he posted and he said, what's the value of $200 in your life? And he said, for me, it's not less than a few $1 million. He said, I can't believe a business, which we started with only $200, has the potential of unlimited income. And if you guys could see it, you would see their office. They just opened an office in Dallas for their team. And it is huge and it's amazing and it's beautiful. And, you know, that might not be your dream, but for these guys, it's a big deal, right? To be able to come into an industry, to have mentorship and leadership and someone teach them, take them by the hand and teach them how to make extra money. Zack alluded to a little bit of our story earlier. You guys have probably heard that, but when we started in the financial services business, we were school teachers. We loved what we did, right? I love teaching. Zack loves teaching, and we both coached. I coached 2 sports. He coached 3. We loved all of that, but we didn't make money because we had to take care of our children. And, you know, teachers notoriously don't make a lot of money. And back then you made less, right? And so we started in this industry because we needed a couple of $100 extra a month. We didn't start in this industry to change our careers or to change our lives. It was truly, how can we make more money? I don't have more time. I don't have a lot of time. I don't have the traditional, you know, $10, $15, $20 an hour to time, right, to exchange my time for. So I needed something that allowed me, whatever time we put in, to really have a big impact off of that. And again, for us, that was financial services, and we were able to truly change our lives and change our stars. So whether people are looking to, like Zack said, just create referral partnerships, or they're looking to make a couple hundred thousand, yeah, that'd be nice, right? A couple $100 extra a month, or a couple 100,000, or a couple million. You have the ability to do that when you start thinking outside of your own box, right? even if you're employed, even if you're going to stay employed forever, think about increasing your income. Think about adding a license. Think about the life insurance license. It's fairly easy. It's fairly cheap. And there are plenty of people out there in this world that will mentor you. And I know from a need perspective, it's huge. Most people that we sit down with only have life insurance through work. And that's great as long as they're working. Right? But as soon as they get sick or they lose their job or something like that happens, what happens to their life insurance? It goes away, right? So anyway, lots of different pieces that we could talk about from that perspective, but I think it definitely gives you the ability to increase your income and to diversify. We always hear multiple streams of income, right? And it gives you the ability to do that without having to go and truly trade time for dollars.
Yeah, it's been like Kimberly said, it's a game changer for us. And the irony there is we're talking a lot about student loans and those kind of things going spinning around in the media right now, and people are borrowing a lot of money to get a certification of some sort. And the average salary coming out of college, I think, is still in the $50,000 range with a 4-year degree. So when you look at time for dollars and investment, that's a big investment in getting that business and getting that job that you're looking for down the road. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We have one daughter that's graduated from college. The other one's a junior in college, and the other two haven't gotten to that point yet. But I strongly
You'll go.
Yeah,
That's a different life lesson, right?
get started, grow up, and complete something. But long story short, we both spent money. We both went to college for I think I took 8 years to get a 4-year degree. But I'm a little distracted sometimes in life. But neither one of us used those degrees that we got now. So know yourself, know your direction. We talk to our kids about that all the time. Know that you're not stuck. You're right where you're right where you should be. But you might not have to stay there if it's not where you want to be. So there are many options that you can do for very little outflow, very little capital output to give yourself a pretty sizable income stream.
Yeah, which is different than a traditional business, right? If we wanted to open a restaurant, that'd be a significant, risk versus reward or something like that. Getting a license and adding a secondary stream of income is fairly affordable. Yes, Rel, I think it's a perfect time to open it up to conversations and questions. And so interested to hear what you have to say, but I'm also interested to hear, who's got a license out there. Go ahead.
Well, I'm interested in the world knowing about Kimberly and Zack, that you're pointing to getting a license, and I want to ask you just a straightforward question. How many people have just gotten a license and joined your team? How big is your team? What are you up to nowadays?
Our team is pretty big. We have at this point probably 250 people on our team across the US, which is awesome. Some people, this is their first full-time career. Some people, this is a very part-time endeavor, where they run across something, they come in and say, hey, I have a client, I need your help, or they just refer that business. And some people just, join our team because they want to learn how money works. And that's fine too, because nobody teaches us out there. So yes, we do. We have a really large team, and always looking to, this business changed our lives, right? This opportunity changed our lives. We've been able to do so much more because of this license, because we said yes, because we said we need more money than I think we ever would have thought possible. My first plane ride was on our honeymoon, and it was my first and only plane ride before traveling the world through organizations like HGI and the one that we're with right now, through opportunities just to see different places, and through travel and through experiences, which you guys know, it opens your mind, it opens your vision and your possibilities. So just all of the things that we've been able to give our kids, had someone not offered us that opportunity, we never would have known. We never would have, been able to say yes. So for us, we're super passionate about what we do. Obviously, I think it's a huge need in the world today, with financial education and financial independence and just teaching people how money works. But I think it's also, I think maybe even more important is knowing that you can, and that you don't have to, just sit in the confines of where you are, that you can honestly do, as cliche as it sounds, anything you set your mind to. And Zach knows, I mean, sometimes we have some little arguments, right? 25 years.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I want to ask one more question, right? Because you mentioned that there are people out there who can mentor you, hold your hands, and really guide you to make that extra $200 a month or that extra 2 million, right? And so you've got 200 people or so on your team. A day in the life of Zack and Kimberly as coaches and mentors, what does it look like to be a member of your team under your tutelage?
So we have a system that we were blessed to be brought into years ago that is somewhat foolproof if you have someone that's coachable and teachable. See, I'm not a salesperson, and Kimberly will be the first one to tell you that. If it's a hard closed sale or I've got to convince somebody to do something, I'll turn the bulldog loose on them. But I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher, and I'm a coach. So I love that about what we do. But we spend our days either teaching clients how money works, about their own situation. A lot of it is on Zoom, but we spend the majority of our time helping our teammates with their clients, and we hold their hand through that process. We have a field training mentorship program that we send people through that are brand new in the industry, or people that have really bad habits that come from the industry. We want them to think about the client first, not the commission first, those kind of things. So that's what we do. We spend a lot of time on Zoom, a couple different rooms, couple different computers. And when we're at our office, we have better cameras. So it's not just the integrated computer camera, but that's a long-winded, vague answer, but that's what we do.
And there's so much that goes behind that with, it's not just clients, and it's not just financial education, it's mindset, and it's how to build a business, and how to think like a business owner, and how to think like an entrepreneur instead of just an employee, because most of us, maybe not all of us, but most of us are raised as employees, right? We're raised by employees to be employees. Our world is employees, and breaking out of that mental shift is probably the hardest thing that we do with our new teammates, is teaching them how to think as an entrepreneur, because they've all been raised to, get up, go to work, do their job, come home, get a paycheck, and that's their life. So anyway, lots of different things, that no day is ever the same. So
thank you for answering the question. And it now brings me back full circle to the question of the day: should I get a license? So I'm taking the liberty of answering and inviting people to answer yes. Don't just get a license, but have Kimberly and Zack be your coach and maximizing what that license is all about. So when we created Money Mondays, it was a dream of mine to have coaches and people who care like you do, who would not only talk about making more money, but really have a tangible opportunity for people to actually make more money. So should you get a license? Yes.
absolutely, you should.
I believe that yes, that's we're glad we did, never look back. And I think it's the right answer for most people. So, but that being said, guys, I know we've run a little bit longer than we should have this morning, and it's been a bumpy road, but I hope we got the point across. And if anybody does want to reach out to us directly, it's our emails are Zack@joinhgi.com and Zack at joinhgi.com, and Kimberly is Kimberly at joinhgi.com. So, and we will see you live in August 12th in Alpharetta. But before we leave, remember our 8 tenets: to love, laugh out loud, stress less, eat mostly plant-based, give, sleep, move, and then check yourself before you wreck yourself. Give yourself a moment, a pause before you respond. Guys, it's great to see you this morning. We'll see you same time, same place on the Daily Huddle tomorrow.
Bye, guys.